everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sherry. Today I have a quick story time before we get into the project. This table here was not broken when I bought it. It was an impulse Facebook Marketplace purchase. It was in perfect condition, but when I got there to go pick it up, I accidentally broke it, and I broke it before I even handed her the money. It was my fault, so I paid her for it anyway, but I was so mad at myself. And I did attempt to go get it professionally repaired, but the glass and mirror shop quoted me a minimum of $200. The table itself, brand new, cost $200, so that wasn't an ideal situation for me. So after a few weeks of pondering of what to do with it, I decided to try a mosaic project with it. So to start with, you're going to need a hammer, a butter knife, or something to chisel out glass pieces, some heavy gloves, and not shown here, but you'll need something to protect your eyes, like some goggles or glasses, because as you can see, the glass does fly and you don't want to injure your eyes. Now, this looks easy on camera, but I will tell you, it took me a couple of hours to do. The glue holding down the mirror is very strong, so it's not easy to pop all of the glass pieces out, and you do have to be prepared to spend some time on it. Make sure also that you have a bag or a box to put all of your glass pieces in, because you are going to need that for your project. There was a little bit of chipping in the wood, so I did a light spraying with this spray paint here. I didn't show that in the video though. And right here, you're just going to create a design with some of the glass pieces before you start gluing them down. Once you like your design, use E6000 glue, or later on you'll see that I switched to a similar glue that Gorilla Glue makes. My E6000 glue, the tube split open in the middle and started making a mess all over my hands, so I switched glue because of that, but both of them work just fine. Now, once you're done gluing down your design, let it dry for 24 hours before moving to the next phase, which is grouting. You're going to need an old rag that you don't mind throwing away. Your grout of choice, just make sure it's non-sanded. I got this one from Home Depot, and you're just going to follow the instructions on the back of the packaging. These are the knobs that came with the table. My idea is to protect the holes so that I can not cover them up with the grout and screw in the knobs later. But you'll see later on that I didn't even need to do this step. Next, I'm going to put tape along the border of the drawer so I don't get grout all over the edges. You can use painter's tape if you'd like. I'm using masking tape here, and it worked just fine. And now I'm going to grout. This is pretty self-explanatory. The only thing I would say is you're going to need to fill in all of the space while simultaneously trying to make it as thin as possible on the actual mirror pieces. Now I'm putting on some gloves, and while the grout is still wet, I'm taking my wet rag and I'm wiping the grout smooth but also getting as much as I can off of the mirror. You don't want to leave very much grout on your mirror because once it dries, you'll be stuck scraping it off. So try the best you can to get it as clean as possible while it's wet. And this is what it should look like at this point. And just keep wiping it smooth and cleaning it as best as possible. Make sure there's no lumps or anything. And also take off your tape because you don't want that to dry with the grout for obvious reasons. This is what it's looking like so far. It is damp. It's damp enough to where I can take my finger and smooth out any lumps, any lines, anything with a texture. So that's what I'm doing here. And then once you like how it's looking, you're gonna let this dry for 2 hours before you do anything else. Now after it's been drying for 2 hours, I'm gonna take out the knobs that I screwed in and replace it with these knobs that I got from Amazon. If you like these, I'll have them linked below in the description box. So I'm unscrewing the old knobs that the table came with, and my idea is to screw in the new knobs that I got from Amazon. But I realized that they weren't a really good fit. They were really wobbly and loose. So if you're going to use different knobs than what you ended up, what you inherited with the project, make sure that the new knobs fit first because you may not even need to preserve them like I tried. I ended up just gluing them as you see here, which worked just fine, but I didn't need to try to save the holes early on in the project. Now you're going to let this dry overnight before you put the drawers into the table. And this is the final result. I am so pleased with how this came out. I have to admit I was a little nervous. I've never done a mosaic before, so I was afraid that I was going to mess it up, but it came out exactly how I pictured it should in my mind, and I'm very, very happy. This little area is a corner of my dining room, and I thought it would go perfect there as just a really beautiful display piece for like little those little cake stands that I have there, kind of like a mini buffet table. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody who's into DIY projects, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube family. If you aren't following me on Instagram yet, please also go over to my page. I'm share.marie, that's SHERR.Marie. I'd love to have you there as well. And if you recreate this project or have something similar, please share it with me. I'd love to see it. Thank you for stopping by. Take care.